I've actually got two icicle bows now, one on my King of the Sea Assassin and another one on Dragoon, who I have also given the Assassin class to. That is why I now have 7 Assassins. G'day, Josh here, back with another Chess Rush video, and I'm going to try a slightly different format with this one. It's obviously going to be showcasing a pretty fun build, but I want to do it in a slightly tighter format and jump straight to the action. So starting off, here is the build. It is an assassin build featuring dragons, which is not something that I've really seen in the meta. I love experimenting with builds. You can see the builds that I went up there against: a Punisher assassin build, a bit of a hybrid sorcerer human elf build, and the other real serious competitor was the Hunter 6 Hunter 4 undead build. So obviously this particular build favors up fairly well against those. So what I want to actually do is jump into the replay, and instead of going through all of the early game stuff, we're going to essentially skip through to where the build is complete and then watch it perform live and talk about some of my item placement and hero decisions. And as the game is loading up, 6 Assassins obviously speaks for itself. It's one of the very strong combos in the current meta. Maybe not necessarily a top tier combo, but right behind the top tier combos. So what we're going to do, let's try 12. Let's try round 12. Now we're keeping an eye on the left hand side there. There it is. So we've got the 6 Assassins up on the board. We don't yet have our 3 dragons, and in fact, I haven't even found a Dragoon. So we're actually going to skip forward a little bit more. There's Dragoon on my bench. So we're going to start the video essentially from here. So we'll skip to the first battle. I've got the 6 Assassins in place. I don't have a ton of 2 stars just yet. Generally speaking, my preferred turbo playstyle is to focus on levels, so I get to the expensive heroes before my opponents. Sometimes that does mean that I end up running quite a lot of 1-star heroes at this stage into the game, but you can see there that it works quite well for me. I do have a Shakaraka, and I'll click on him again as we go into the next round here. You can see that he has been given the Assassin class, so he is one of my 6 Assassins. He also has a Sapphire and a short bow. I've also got the Icicle bow on one of the 2 stars that I currently have at this stage. That will be transferred across to Dragoon once I have 3 dragons up and running. Dragoon immediately transforms, obviously does splash damage, and the Icicle bow on any hero that does splash damage is basically the turbo meta right now, because it gives you the chance to freeze multiple enemies on every single auto attack, which is incredibly strong. Now this particular round, you can see there, probably not going to win this one, just too many 2 stars on the other side of the board. So let's skip through to, here it is, round 16. This is the first round where I have the full combo on the board. I've actually got 2 icicle bows now, one on my King of the Sea Assassin and another one on Dragoon, who I have also given the Assassin class to. That is why I now have 7 Assassins. So my Dragoon and my Shark are both going to be jumping to the back line and dealing freeze damage, splash freeze damage coming from my Dragoon, and you'll see that take effect as we jump into the round 16 battle. Keep an eye on Dragoon. Where is Dragoon? I'm struggling to see where Dragoon is. Oh, it's still down here. Not actually, we saw a quick freeze there, and we're seeing some more freezing action happening there as well, and I end up doing very, very well. Now, at this stage of the game, there's still 5 of us around, pretty similar values across the board. You can see that me racing for levels has favored me somewhat, because I've got a couple of legendaries. I am the first one at level 10. Of course, you do have a 6% chance of legendaries at level 10. Let's jump through to the round 17 battle. And essentially my thinking with this video is you'll see the build in action, and we skip past the stuff that's not necessarily as important. Every now and again, I think I still do more of a comprehensive build guide, because I think some people appreciate seeing the process of how I go about the early and mid game. But I'm sure that most of you, and let me know in the comments down below, really just want to see what the build is and how it performs against other matchups, and this is the best way in my eyes of doing that. You can see on the other side of the board we've got a Punisher build, got a 3-star, one of the newer heroes, Uriella there, a little bit scary. But thankfully, it looks like we're going to get the job done here. And especially when we've got 2 heroes doing freeze damage, once we have a hero advantage on the board, it's pretty hard for the enemy to come back. That being said, as an absolutely stacked Uriella with items, and I think she does end up getting the win this round, if I'm not mistaken. The freezes aren't even enough coming out of my Dragoon. Actually, it is enough. There we go. That was quite a long battle, but we do get the job done. Now, there's still a big gap. The Punisher player up on top, the player we just bet, has barely lost any health. Obviously, you know the end result. We get the win, but you know that there's quite a ways back that we have to come. So here's the round 19 battle up against the Hunter build, I believe this is. Lots of burst damage coming out of them, but Assassins generally match up quite well against Hunters in general. And you can see there that we definitely get the job done. It's worth noting the DPS chart. Dragoon absolutely going crazy with that splash damage, and we're down to 3 just like that. Let's skip through to round 21. Once again, up against the Punisher build. Now has 2 3-stars, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, also has a 3-star Bionic Ninja. But you can see that we get the job done even more comfortably this time around as we start to get more and more 2-stars on the board, and we are down to our final 2 opponents just like that. I obviously have the value advantage, although that is less important now that the items are a little bit more important, but having level 10 and having more access to the legendaries is really, really key, especially now that I have a 2-star Shark and a 2-star Dragoon as assassins. Let's jump into the round 22 battle. I don't think it's possible in Turbo to do 28 damage unless you basically win with all of your heroes alive. So I think this is the second to last battle from memory. And keep in mind, RNG always plays a part as well. It is possible, there we go, we did 25 damage, that wasn't far off. It is always possible for an opponent to get incredibly lucky and you to get very unlucky at the same time and to actually lose what should be a win, but obviously we get the job done here pretty comfortably. Assassins matching up very, very well against both Hunters and Punishers, even stacked Punishers like this Uriella here. So if you'd like to try something new, and if you're getting presented lots of Assassins early on in the game, that is a guide that is a build that I would recommend experimenting with. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Let me know what you think of the shortened format in the comments down below, whether you like it or you don't. And until next time, I'll see you later.